You know that person, the one who is always suffering, always sick, always betrayed, always on the edge of crisis. And you feel guilty. Guilty for wanting distance. Guilty for setting boundaries. Guilty for even thinking they might be the problem. But here's what no one tells you. Sometimes the victim is not the victim. Sometimes suffering is a weapon. Imagine this. You have a friend, a parent, or a partner. Every time you try to talk about something that bothers you, they collapse. You don't understand how hard my life is. After everything I've been through, you're going to criticize me? I thought you were the one person who actually cared. And just like that, the conversation is over. Your problem disappears. Your feelings don't matter. Because now, you're not the hurt one. You're the bad guy. This is not tragedy. This is a tactic. And in dark psychology, it has a name. The victim narcissist. Most people think narcissists are loud, arrogant, and aggressive. The classic look at me type. But there's another type. Far more dangerous. Far harder to detect. The victim narcissist, also known as the vulnerable or covert narcissist, uses suffering as their primary tool of control. Here's how it works. When you try to set a boundary, they play the victim. When you express a need, they remind you of their pain. When you try to leave, they threaten self-destruction or collapse. The result? You stay. You apologize. You feel guilty for having needs. Psychologists call this emotional blackmail. The victim narcissist doesn't need to yell or threaten. They just need you to believe that you are the problem. And the most painful part? They often believe their own suffering. It's not always a conscious lie, but that doesn't make it any less manipulative. So how do you protect yourself? How do you stop feeling guilty for having boundaries? This is where stoicism becomes your shield. First, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control, others are not. Their suffering? Not in your control. Their past trauma? Not in your control. Their emotional stability? Not in your control. What is in your control? Your actions, your boundaries, your decision to stay or leave. You're not responsible for saving anyone. You're only responsible for your own virtue." Second, separate compassion from rescue. Stoicism teaches us to be compassionate, to help when we can. But helping does not mean destroying yourself. If someone uses their pain to control you, that is not a relationship. That is a hostage situation. Third, the silent boundary. You don't need to announce your boundaries with anger. You don't need to explain yourself. Next time they play the victim, say this calmly. "I hear that you're hurting, and I still need to take care of myself." No argument. No negotiation. Just truth. Here are 3 signs you are dealing with a victim narcissist, not someone genuinely struggling. Sign number 1. Your pain never gets airtime. Every time you bring up a problem, the conversation somehow becomes about their suffering. Your feelings are always interrupted, minimized, or compared to something worse they've experienced. Sign number 2. They have a greatest hits of trauma. They replay the same stories, the same betrayals, the same injustices, years later. And if you dare suggest healing or moving forward, you are accused of being insensitive. Sign number 3. Leaving feels impossible without guilt. When you think about ending the relationship, or even just taking space, you feel overwhelming guilt. That guilt is not love. That guilt is the chain they built. If these 3 signs are present, you're not dealing with someone who needs help. You're dealing with someone who uses help as a leash. So what do you do starting today? Step 1. Stop explaining. Every explanation you give is ammunition. "I need space because I'm tired" becomes "you're abandoning me when I'm suffering." Stop explaining. Just act. Step 2. Test the reaction. Set one small boundary. Say, "I can't talk right now. I'll call you tomorrow." Watch what happens. A healthy person says, "Okay, talk then." A victim narcissist says, "Fine, I'll just deal with this alone like always." Guilt trip immediately. Step 3. Reclaim your guilt. Guilt is not a compass. Guilt is often a sign that someone has installed buttons in you. Feel the guilt and do the right thing anyway. Marcus Aurelius wrote, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The victim narcissist keeps you close by making you afraid to leave. Afraid of what might happen. Afraid of being the bad person. But here's the truth. You are not abandoning anyone by choosing yourself. You're not cruel for having boundaries. And you're not responsible for fixing a suffering that someone refuses to heal. Let them be the victim. You don't have to be the rescuer anymore. If this video made you think of someone, and I know it did, share in the comments. Just say the letter V if you've dealt with a victim narcissist. And if you're ready to stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace, hit subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't save people who don't want to be saved. We build minds that cannot be manipulated. I'll see you in the next one.